Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Big Farm series. Today we're gonna scale up the creeper farm I made from my Skyblock series. So the concept of the farm is quite simple, but it only works that well because we are in a void world and we can build the farm at the bottom of the world. In a normal terrain world we have a lot of blocks in between, and at the end also bedrock. It would be much harder to make a farm like this. You can do it if you make a void perimeter, but it requires a lot of effort to actually do it. But yeah, let's check it out, and then we're gonna try to scale it up and see how fast we can make this. Because it's actually quite promising. So it works like this. We got a boat that is inside of a minecart, and creepers that would spawn on the side would be immediately picked up by those minecarts. And as soon as a creeper rides a boat or a minecart, it no longer counts towards the mob cap. And that makes it really perfect to scale it up. But before we do that, let's actually try to improve the concept a little bit. There's two things I want to improve. So first of all, the minecart going back and forth is kind of wasteful. So the problem is really that the middle spawning space here is kind of wasted, because we always got the hitbox of the boat intersecting with the creeper spawning. So this middle spawning spot, is never used really. And the minecart also loses a lot of speed by changing direction all of the time. So ideally I want the minecart to go around in a loop. And if I can, I also want to kill the mobs a little bit quicker. So right now we just use suffocation damage. Creepers are killed by being stuck inside of the blocks here on top. Ideally you want to kill those guys quicker. So if you would use something like lava, this would speed up things a lot. But then there's a huge downside, which makes the farm basically not work anymore. It's the light levels. So the spawning only works because there's actually light level 0 on top of this block here. And if I had lava there, of course, then no more mob would spawn. Also, lava cauldron, despite being excellent for killing mobs, has the same issue. It's actually transparent despite not being made out of glass. Doesn't really look like light would come through this, but definitely does. You can check it out here. We got block light level of 13 there. So the lava cauldron is basically transparent. There is an active bug report already for this that also covers a couple other blocks, like for example the furnace. For example, it doesn't really make sense that you got light coming out the back of the furnace, which is still the thing. So some blocks would need to be made when it comes to light directional, like the slabs or the stairs. It's definitely doable, but I guess Mojang hasn't really bothered doing this. And as long as we don't have that option, we can't use a cauldron as well. I think a concept like this one here, where the minecart is going around in a loop instead of going back and forth, should be a bit better. So here we got 12 potential spawning spaces where the mobs could be picked up from. That's quite convenient. Unfortunately, mobs here in the corner wouldn't get picked up. So if you have maybe the next module right next to it, then you would have unused blocks here in the corners. But it's not a big problem. We can just place, for example, a glass block there to cover those. This is also good because we still have the issue that right now spider spawning is possible. But if you have a block there, then already those two spawning spots would not be suitable for spiders because their hitbox just extends into this block here, so the spawn attempt will be aborted. Just need to deal with the one in the middle. But here you can use a simple trick. Creepers actually fit right next to a trapdoor. So this trapdoor does not prevent the creeper from spawning. You can see it's right next to it. So we can just place a trapdoor there. This prevents, of course, the spider from spawning, and you get a creeper only farm again. I was also hoping with this concept that because we use curved rails now, that maybe you get a little bit of an offset and then creepers would maybe touch a lava block in the middle here. But unfortunately that's not the case for the single creeper. He just gets normally suffocated. But a second creeper actually is set on fire by the lava. So because he has a different position in the boat, he actually is put into the lava there in the middle. And as you can see, it's completely shielded. So in case we just put a block above, then we got light level 0 all around. So we could actually kill the mobs quicker where we need it the most. because the efficiency of the farm would definitely suffer in case we have multiple creepers spawning. They don't get picked up because those guys would fill the mob cap. But now, if the boat already has 2 passengers, the second passenger is killed quicker. And in that case, it should be possible to pick up the next creeper sooner. So this is definitely a huge improvement that we can at least kill the filled boats or the creepers in the boats a bit quicker. It should actually also be better to have a lava cauldron here instead of lava, because it actually kills the creeper 1 tick quicker. I can show this real quick. I'm just gonna freeze the game right here. Summon creeper on both spots there. So you have lava cauldron, there we have lava. And now we continue the game again. Probably saw it, the creeper on the left actually took damage just slightly faster. And also goes down like a tick sooner. Alright, so I made a farm out of the new concept, a small one first. This is actually something I want to use for my Skyblock world. We got 25 modules, creepers are being picked up and killed. In terms of item collection, I haven't really come up with something smarter than just having the minecart on top of some hoppers. So since we're really at the bottom of the world, I can't place a single block below. We have like minecarts running below, picking up items. So you just directly pick up the gunpowder, the hoppers, transport everything over to the side. And then we got droppers elevating the items a little bit into an item elevator. We could process them further. Okay, so with this small setup, we're already getting 17,000 gunpowder per hour. Alright, so let's scale this up to see how far we can actually push this. So now we have 400 modules, that means we have actually 400 boats in 400 minecarts, and that alone already causes quite a bit of lag. But it's not at a point where it would actually be super bad. So it runs at around 17 to 18 MSPT. So that's pretty decent. That means we still have leeway and performance left to make this even larger. And also the second important number is actually the mob cap. So if you look at the top, the first number is the amount of mobs that count towards the mob cap. So in single player, we would have a mob cap of 70. So in case we reach the 70, then the mob spawning would stop. But most of the time, we're around 20 to 30. So we're not even using half of the mob cap. So we can go at least twice as large, probably even larger. And in terms of items, we're getting 225,000 gunpowder per hour with this 80 by 80 farm. It's actually really decent for a one-dimensional farm. So of course, the best mob farms when it comes to raids will always be some portal-based farms. But at this point, it's getting a bit boring that every farm has portals now in order to get the best raids. So that's why I think also this concept is quite interesting, because it doesn't use portals. Next and final step, let's make it 4 times larger. So now we have 1600 modules, so that means we have 3200 entities just with the minecarts and boats alone, and that means we have quite a lot of lag. We can also check with the F3 menu how many entities we have around. So on the top left, 5th row, you can see we have 4,500 entities around. And this causes the game on my machine to already not run at 20 TPS anymore. But there's probably better computers, or if you actually run this on server, so you don't need to have the client on top as well, it might be possible to actually run this below 50 MSPT. Yeah, it's quite interesting. We're getting 650,000 gunpowder per hour for one-dimensional farm, so that's pretty decent. Yeah, but as I said, my machine is a bit too laggy already. We're already not in real time delivered those amount of items, but might be feasible on a better computer. Also, if you check the first number again, the mob cap, there we can see it's almost all the time around 70. So the mob cap is filled most of the time. Probably wouldn't make any sense to make this farm any larger. Besides that, there isn't even a lot of space left for more modules, because the mob spawning only happens within a radius of 128 blocks of the player. So the modules on the diagonal corners, they're almost 128 blocks away from the player. So the ideal shaped farm, with as many modules as possible, would of course be a circle, but since we already kind of hit the limit, I don't think I'm gonna go through the effort of actually making this, but yeah. Around 650,000 seems like what you could get with such a farm. Just one last thing in case you're wondering why there's green carpet on top of some of the lava cauldrons. Unless you spend a lot of time searching, it's probably not avoidable to have at least some slime chunks inside of such a large area. And to prevent the slime spawning on top of those blocks here, just placed a carpet here on top of the cauldron. It's actually quite convenient that we actually have the lava cauldron there, because we have a higher light level on top of those blocks and don't need to spawn proof those with slabs. So at nighttime, no mobs could spawn on top of those blocks. Alright, so this was the giant minecart creeper farm for Void Worlds. For my Skyblock world, I'm definitely gonna go with the small one, but it's interesting that you can actually scale this up to such a point. Right, hope you enjoyed watching and see you next time. Bye bye.